Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the showdown slate between the Charlotte Hornets and the Indiana Pacers. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings, and I also make videos for NBA Top Shot. If you're unable to watch these videos, also up on Apple Podcasts, link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on Patreon.com, an esports package that includes Call of Duty and CSGO, as well as an NBA package. Now, these showdown videos, at least for now, for like the first couple rounds, are only. This is a special edition just to have more time today with no slate. So I'll post a showdown video for both the Hornets, or both the early and the late game for tomorrow. But from here on out, it'll be the late slate showdown will just be on Patreon.com. So if you guys are interested in showdown breakdowns like this, that is included in the NBA package. The late showdown slate is, I always do a breakdown for that, as well as the main slate. And then I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. If it's your first time watching, you're not familiar with Prize Picks. So what they have is they will post fantasy scores or fantasy projections, and you can either take the over or the under. They also have now single stat DFS. So like they have points. You can take over under on points, over under on assists, rebounds, 3-pointers made. So, for this game at least, again, I mentioned this in the 2-game slate, but 51 for Sabonis is too low. I will definitely be taking the over on that one. With LeVert, keep an eye on Brogdon. If Brogdon is out, I like going the over on LeVert because he'll play more of the point guard. If Brogdon is in, I'll probably stay away from both. So the Sabonis one is one I feel really good about. Also, Devontae Graham at 25.5 feels a little bit low for a guy that probably pushes for 30 minutes in this one. So maybe Graham, Sabonis, the two I like the over in this game. Again, the Hornets should run basically 7-man rotation as we saw the last game. And finally, I just want to thank you guys again for your continued support. And let me know if you like these type of videos for the showdown slates. But if you guys could, leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't know live. I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow to break down the 2-game slate, so make sure to check it out. And let's try to aim for 100 likes on this video, guys. All right, so with this Hornets-Pacers game again, it's a 228 over under, and the Pacers are 3.5-point favorites. So we'll start off with the Charlotte Hornets, and this is a team that in their last game, they basically ran a 7-man rotation. With LaMelo, Rozier, PJ, Bridges, Devontae Graham, McDaniels, and Cody Zeller. Monk and Biyombo played like 5 minutes each. So not really interested in either of them. So obviously going to be focusing on the guys that are actually going to play in this game, which is it should be a 7-man rotation. So we'll start off with, again, both the guards with LaMelo versus Rozier. LaMelo might have a little bit of a higher floor, but the minutes, he's not playing the huge minutes right now, which is a little bit frustrating, right? He's playing 30 to 32 minutes. He's a guy, obviously, that can go out and get you a triple-double. I think Rozier, if you shoot him the upside, he has a little bit more upside. Again, he can play more minutes, too. Look, we might get 40 minutes out of Rozier. So if you're shooting for the upside in the showdown side, I think it's Rozier versus LaMelo. It's kind of the same thing here with Bridges versus PJ Washington. So Washington's a guy that might have a little bit of a higher floor with his peripheral stats. He should play somewhere around 30 to 35 minutes. But I think Bridges is the guy that has a little more upside, right? We've seen a couple 40 bombs from him. He's been playing really well of late. So Bridges for the upside, PJ for the floor. Going down a little bit more, Devontae Graham at 7.2K. I think it's a pretty fair price for him. He should get about 30 minutes off the bench. And production for him has been very up and down. Like all these Hornets guys, I feel like have been up and down for DFS, production. But Graham, we've seen a couple 40 bombs from him in 2 of the last 4 games. And then scrolling down a bit more, I think McDaniels is actually a pretty safe value play in the slate. I think we get around 30 minutes from him. Doesn't have insane upside, but, there's not a ton of smash value. And then probably my favorite value right now is Cody Zeller. This Pacers team is a big team. They got Sabonis, who's going to play big minutes. So I think Cody Zeller probably gets around 30 minutes. He's a really good point per minute guy. He played 30 minutes the last game against Washington. So I actually really, really like Cody Zeller here for value. And again, I'm not going to get to Monk. I'm not going to get to Biyombo. And on the Pacers side, I just have a hard time getting away from Sabonis at that price. It's just too cheap for a guy that's going to play 40 to 45 minutes. And I will not be fitting Sabonis. Now, there's a lot of question marks right now. Brogdon, questionable. I fully expect LeVert to play. Aaron Holiday, some nerves still waiting on as well. If Brogdon is out, I really like LeVert because then he'll play a lot at the point guard and he'll play close to 40 minutes. So Probably would prioritize getting both Sabonis and LeVert in there if Brogdon is out. If Brogdon is in, then I'm not as high on LeVert, and then Brogdon and LeVert more secondary plays at their respective prices. McConnell at 7-4. If both the guards are in, I think he does lose some minutes, so then he would become riskier. If like Brogdon is out, I feel like you can take the shot at McConnell because he's a good, point per minute guy. A guy can stuff a stat sheet. So yeah, monitor the status there. Brogdon, kind of important for McConnell. Brissett at 6K. He had the big game last game, but I don't necessarily trust it. More of a secondary play for me. And again, we're still waiting on Aaron Holiday, Sumner. These are potential value if they play. Like if both those guys play and start, then obviously they look appealing. If they're both out, then Justin Holiday, McDermott probably push for 30 minutes. Neither are great point per minute guys. Both have a somewhat low floor. But these are two guys that there's not a ton of smash value, so both should get about 30 minutes in this one. If both Aaron Holiday and Edmund Sumner are out. And then, again, I think one of Keelan Martin or Goga play here. I think they're going to trim down to 8-man rotation. So I would lean towards Keelan. I think he's been playing well of late. I would think he gets in this game. So if you want to take a shot on Keelan Martin, I don't hate that. Again, I think there is some risk, though, of potential DNP for him. Because, again, both teams are going to run tight rotations here in a must-win game. So let's talk about roster construction for the Showdown slate. All right, so I think the clear spend up for guys I'm considering the captain, Sabonis right now I think is the safest option. He has a super high floor as well as a high ceiling. He can go out and get you a triple-double. I'm not afraid of Charlotte on the defensive end. So Sabonis is the guy I feel the best about in the captain. Now, with Brogdon and LeVert, I'm probably not going to go to Brogdon because he's been banged up a lot. But if Brogdon is out, I could see taking a shot on LeVert. And then with the Charlotte guys, I think if you're shooting for the upside, it's Rozier in the captain. And just because he can probably go out and play 40 minutes and he's flashed a good amount of upside. So I think if I'm taking a shot in one of the Charlotte guys in the captain's probably Rozier as far as the main guys go. Would I take a shot in any of the cheap guys in the captain? I think there's one guy I would consider, and it's kind of gross, but I think you can consider taking a shot in Cody Zeller in the captain. And the reason being, again, he's a good point per minute guy. If he plays like 30 minutes, he can definitely have a pretty big game. So, like, for example, if you go Cody Zeller in the captain, then you can basically go team jam him in, right? You can go Sabonis. You can get, Rozier and, like, one other main Charlotte guy. You can go out and get one of the guards, like LeVert or Brogdon is out, or Brogdon if he plays, and still have a little bit left over. So, like, I think that build is viable. It's obviously a little bit more risky. I do think the probably optimal build will be Sabonis in the captain, and then probably one of Brogdon or LeVert. Again, if Brogdon is out, I'm going to play LeVert. If Brogdon is in, then I think it's pretty close. Monitor the status of Brogdon if he's going to be limited or not, so that would be pretty big, right? But, like, for now, I guess we could throw LeVert in there. And then I think getting to two of those, Charlotte main guys, like of two of the four of, like, LaMelo, Rozier, PJ, Bridges, Graham, or two of the five, I guess. So if we're shooting for the upside, maybe we go Rozier and, like, Bridges, and then let's see. If we do that, it might be a little bit trickier. Again, my favorite value play is Zeller, but then you're left at like Goga, who may or may not play, or Sumner if he plays. I think he's someone you could look to for value, but that'll probably be my approach for if you're trying to build an optimal build. Is Sabonis and the captain, probably plus one of the guards of Brogdon or LeVert. I will go LeVert if Brogdon is out. If Brogdon plays, then it's basically 50-50. Probably try to get to two of those main five guys for the Hornets, pair with Cody Zeller for value, and then kind of go from there. So, again, that's what I think is the optimal build. If I'm going to take a shot in one of the Charlotte guys, again, one of the Cody Zeller one. If you shoot for the upside, I think you could go Rozier. That leaves you a little bit more wiggle room, right? Then if you go Cody Zeller and then run it back with like Sabonis and one of the guards, then you still have, a little bit of room. You can go up and maybe try to get one more of, the cheaper guys, maybe like a Graham or Bridges, and then go down to value, maybe one of those Pacers value guys. But, that's what I'm thinking for the Showdown slate, guys. Again, if you guys like this content, I have a breakdown for each of the Showdown slates for the late game. Every single slate, we go over this on Patreon. So this is a special occasion. We'll have videos up for both these Showdown slates for tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos, live. Again, we'll be doing YouTube watching for the 2-game slate tomorrow. Thanks again. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the live stream.